One of the traits that virtually all 5 presenters possess is the ability to be persuasive. And you already have those skills, and I'm going to show you how. Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And I want to share with you today, I'm going to give you a real brief thing, something I want you to think about, as you're pursuing your advancement in the wonderful world of business. I want to give you some things to think about. And one of the things that's critical if you want to advance virtually with any company is your ability to be persuasive, that you are able to sell an idea or sell a concept or just sell a product. All right, you have to have those skills. And what I want to point out to you is, for the most part, most of you already have those skills, but you're not putting the pieces of the puzzles together. So I'm going to share with you one of the very first talks that I received from my main mentor, Bob Anderson, about sales. And he used to call it sex, sports, and sales. How all 3 are exactly the same thing. And so that would always get your attention, because you go, sex, sales, sports, how are they all the same? Let me share with you what Mr. Anderson taught us. All right? In all 3 of those endeavors that you're pursuing, you have the same 4 basics. And they are approach, warm up, presentation, and close. All right? Give you an example. Eli, you're somebody that's dating right now, all right, a teenager, almost 17 at this point. Congratulations on that. Didn't think you'd make it. But now that you're in the wonderful world of attracting the opposite sex, let me give you a couple of pointers. And once again, these are things that can be used in sports and sales as well. And you know them from sports too already, because you played some basketball. You cannot walk up to, let's suppose you are someplace and you see a lady that you find attractive, and you would like to get to know her better, to make friends, as we say. Okay? You can't walk up to her and say, hey, beautiful, or just whistle, like they do in the movies. Okay? You can't do that. You have to have some sort of a thing, an icebreaker, something that, where you can start having contact, because otherwise you're both going to feel awkward. She's going to feel like, yeah, who is this guy, whatever. So it's one of the things that you want to have is you need to have an approach. And the simplest approach, one simple approach, is to smile. All right? And if she smiles back, okay, then you've got something there. All right? But then from there you have to have some sort of what they call a line. Like, back in the day they would say, you're in a bar and you'd say, so what's your sign? All right? Well, that's kind of clumsy. People don't do that. But you find a way to start a conversation. All right? You laugh together. You say, hey, I really like your outfit. Or, do you know so-and-so? Yeah, he's this and that, and so on and so forth. And you start a conversation there. What is it you're looking for? You're looking for an icebreaker, something where you have permission to talk to this person and to ask questions. All right, which brings us to the warm-up. Now, in the warm-up, what are you looking for? You're looking for things that you have in common. Oh, what's your favorite restaurant? Oh, I like that. Or I'm a vegetarian. Oh, I am too. Things that you have in common. And what you want to do is you want to get the other person to do the talking. You want to be interested in them and not interesting yourself. Always remember that a person's favorite subject to talk about is their very self, right? Anybody's favorite topic is talking about themselves. So you want to find things that they're interested in and get them to teach you something about it. Does that make sense? That's one of the things you want to do. So when you're having your conversation, with this lady, you might say, oh, there's a basketball game. coming up? Do you like basketball? All right, or there's this nice restaurant. Do you like this kind of food? So on and so forth. And what is it that they have in common? Okay, how are you doing on your math test? What grade did you get in math? All right, if you're in high school or if you're in school, you look for things that you have in common. And you say, what did you like best? And when you're asking these questions, you always want to ask a question where you have either given the answer in the question, or it's a question that the person can answer without doing any thinking. As an example, you might say, so how many brothers and sisters do you have? Okay, that's not a question where I have to go, how many brothers and sisters do I have? All right, they're going to know that right off the top of their head. Or you might say, I like, these are two of my favorite restaurants, Restaurant A and Restaurant B. Which one do you like better? Okay, you've given them the answer in the question. Why is that important in the warm-up? It's important because if the person has to think while you're warming them up, it creates an awkward pause. So in order to keep the conversation going, you want to ask questions that they obviously know the answer to, or it's a question where you've given them the answer right in the question, an either or, A, B, or C question. You don't want to ask them, what's your thoughts on nuclear armament? All right? Okay. That's not going to move your conversation further. What you want to do is you want to ask simple questions and get them to talk to you, and then they will expand on that. In a sales mode, when I used to go into the house, people have in their houses, people have on their desks in their offices things that they're proud of. They'll have their diploma, they'll have a picture of their kids, they'll have trophies. All right. One of the things I would do in as far as the salesperson is concerned is I would go, wow, okay, and then until the person would say, oh, you like that? Let me tell you how I got that trophy. You follow what I'm saying? Give them the opportunity to talk about themselves, to teach you something, and then it's easier to find things that you have in common. That works on the side of the balance sheet where you're trying to make friends, and it works on the side of the balance sheet where you're trying to sell a product or a service. Of course, in sports, the answer is obvious. The approach is, all right, we're going to go out, we're going to kick some butt, we're going to get yourself motivated. And then the warm-up is actually a physical body warm-up, okay? You loosen yourself up, you don't want to pull any muscles, that type of thing. So we got approach, we got warm-up, now comes the presentation. All right, well, then the presentation in part where you're trying to make friends is you start talking a little bit about yourself, some of the things that you want to do, that type of thing. And you're presenting your features, advantages, and benefits. What are your features, advantages, and benefits? Why does this person want to, spend more time with you? Same thing is true in sales. When you're making your presentation of a particular product, what are you talking about? The features, the advantages, and the benefits. How when they become happily involved with your product or service, how are they going to benefit from it? What is going to make their life easier, or how are they going to be able to do something faster or more efficiently or financially less costly? You follow what I'm saying? Features, advantages, benefits. So you're making friends, features, advantages, benefits. Sales, features, advantages, benefits. Simple as that. Then, of course, in sports, the presentation is, the actual game itself. All right, you're there, you're playing, and you're working hard as a basketball player or as a baseball pitcher or as a batter or as a hockey player, a goalie, whatever, to win the game. Okay, so that's your presentation. And then comes the close. The close. And that's kind of the difference that separates the adults from the kids, the men from the boys, the women from the girls. Am I politically correct on that? I tried it all. Okay? In sales, you've got to ask for the check. You've got to say, hey, I've shown you the features, advantages, benefits. You don't say it like that, but say, if you want to have this, this, and this, and this, we can help you become happily involved. It's going to cost you this amount of money, and do you have a pen? Let me tell you who to make the check out to. All right, or you're filling out the application and you say, what's your name? You start asking easy questions. You get the correct spelling of your name. I want to make sure I have the correct address, so on and so forth. Okay, I said, all right, we're all set for that particular order. I just need your okay right here. Don't say sign. I need your okay. Why? They've agreed to it. They've already agreed to it. They've been nodding their head. They've been giving you acceptance of the features, advantages, and benefits. I need you to okay it. When somebody has to sign something, it's like, I have to sign something? I want to have my lawyer look at it. Okay? It's different than saying, I just need you to okay this. Of course, when you're making friends, you say, all right, would you like to, go out on this date, or would you like to come back to my place and take a look at my etchings, okay, or go out for a cup of coffee, or whatever, but you have to ask the question. It's not going to happen by accident. You have to ask the question. You have to close. You have to be a closer, all right? And of course, in sports, being the closer means at the end of the game, when everything's on the line, just as it is in sales and just as it is when you're making friends, you have to be able to perform at the critical time, and you have to want the ball. You have to want the ball. You have to be the one that says, all right, I'm going to take the initiative. Same thing is true in making friends. Same thing is true in sales. So there's a brief 101 answer to why sex, sports, and sales are all the same. They all have an approach, a warm-up, a presentation, and a close. And remember, when you're doing these things, always remember, don't ration your passion, fashion your passion. I'm Eli's dad.